Wellington Dukes TV is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill. Dukes fans, stop by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill on any home game night wearing your Dukes gear to receive 10% off your meal. The Sandbanks Bar and Grill, 153 Main Street, Wellington, Ontario. It's always better by the water. Hello once again and welcome to Wellington Dukes TV. I'm Jason Parks of the Picton Gazette. Just a reminder, this YouTube channel is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill, 153 Main Street, Wellington. With just 2 regulation losses in their past 17 games, the Wellington Dukes continue their charge to the top of the OJHL's Eastern Division. The club ran the gauntlet last weekend, taking all 3 of their games, including 2 key interdivision matchups. Let's check out the highlights. The Dukes in Newmarket Thursday to take on the Hurricanes, going into the 3rd contest of the season between these 2 clubs, and Wellington had outscored the Canes 10-0. Can't get much better start than this. Just 16 seconds in, Eric De Laurentiis finds Luke Brown and he beats Alex Bishop, and it's 1-0 Dukes. Just under 6 minutes later, it's going to be Andrew Copeland jumping into the play, picking up this rebound and roofing it past Bishop, and it's 2-0. A minute 23 later, and Abbott Gerdukas is going to collect a feed and beat Bishop on the power play, and it's 3-0 Dukes, and that would be the end of Bishop's night. Tyson Teichman was busy in the second, as the Canes send 19 shots his way. Newmarket finally figures out Wellington as Ryan Kruss gets a goal, the first surrendered by a Dukes netminder to Newmarket in over 145 minutes. Wellington will put the stamp on it in the late going as Gerdukas feeds Joe McEwen, and it's a 4-1 Wellington final. Hey Dukes fans, the window to select your seats for the upcoming Dudley Hewitt Cup Championship Tournament is closing. Get to Wellington Dukes box office today to pick your spot to watch the biggest junior hockey event Prince Edward County has ever seen. Visit www.wellingtondukes.com for more information. The next night in Wellington, and the Dukes remembering that they lost 9-2 the last time they faced the Cobourg Cougars. Just 2 minutes in, Wellington is on an odd man rush, and it will be January Player of the Month Chad Thibodeau snapping home his 4th of the season. Cobourg would tie it up, but Trevor Cope will tip home a power play goal here to make it 2-1 after 1. The goals start flowing for Wellington in the second. First watch as Mike Robinson puts on the Jets, and he beats Nathan Perry to make it 3-1. Perry has trouble here, and Parker Wood is on the doorstep to make it 4-1. And Joe McEwen is going to get it to 5-1 here. Into the third, and now it's 5-2 until Eric De Laurentiis is set up by Cope to make it 6-2. Luke Brown will get his second point of the period here, and it's 7-2 Dukes. The Cougars would add one late, but it didn't matter as the Dukes respond to an earlier drubbing and hang one on Cobourg 7-3. Unfortunately, no archived video for Wellington's 3-2 win over Whitby this past Monday. Josh Saprika scored a nice goal on a slick feed from Mike Robinson in the first. Eric De Laurentiis would score 2 in the second, and Wellington took a 3-0 lead. Whitby got back on the board late in the second and added another in the third, but Tyson Teichman was outstanding, making 35 stops, including a couple of 10-bell saves in the late going to preserve the regulation win. Wellington now sits in 4th place in the East, but are second in winning percentage. Kingston leads the Loop, but Wellington has a game in hand, and they play the Voyageurs tonight at S-Rock Arena. Tonight's puck drop is at 7:30, and it is a can't-miss for Dukes fans. Wellington hits the road starting Saturday as they are in Orangeville. On Tuesday, the club makes its first regular season road trip to the United States in almost a decade as they are in Buffalo to take on the Junior Sabres. We'll have all the highlights next week on the next edition of this program. For Wellington Dukes TV, I'm Jason Parks.